Ireland, often hailed as a land of breathtaking landscapes, rich history, and vibrant culture, has long held a reputation as an idyllic place to live. However, beneath the charm of its rolling green hills and bustling cities lies a growing economic reality that has left many residents and potential newcomers questioning whether living in Ireland is feasible. Despite its impressive economic growth, Ireland's cost of living, housing crisis, and social challenges are creating significant hurdles for its residents. In this in-depth exploration, we'll uncover why living in Ireland has become increasingly difficult, diving deep into its economic challenges and their broader implications. Ireland's economy is a paradox. On one hand, it boasts a GDP of over $500 billion as of 2023, placing it among the wealthiest nations in the world on a per capita basis. Ireland's corporate-friendly tax policies have attracted multinational giants like Google, Apple, and Facebook, fueling its economic boom. However, the country's impressive GDP figures mask a reality of economic inequality and rising costs that affect the daily lives of its citizens. The housing crisis is perhaps the most visible and impactful issue facing Ireland today. The nation has been grappling with a severe shortage of affordable housing for over a decade. Dublin, the capital, stands as a stark example. In 2023, the average monthly rent in Dublin exceeded $2,100, making it one of the most expensive cities in Europe. For renters outside Dublin, while rents are marginally lower, they remain unaffordable for many. A report by the Residential Tenancies Board highlighted that nationwide rents have increased by over 90% since 2011, outpacing wage growth and leaving many households financially strained. For those looking to buy a home, the situation is equally dire. The median house price in Ireland reached $320,000 in 2023, according to the Central Statistics Office. In Dublin, that figure rises significantly, with properties often exceeding $500,000. First-time buyers face not only sky-high prices, but also stringent mortgage lending rules. Many find themselves trapped in a cycle of renting, unable to save for the required deposits. This has created a generation of forever renters who see home ownership as an unattainable dream. Homelessness is another grim facet of Ireland's housing crisis. Over 12,000 people, including children, were recorded as homeless in 2023, marking a record high. Emergency accommodations are stretched thin, and many families find themselves living in hotels or temporary shelters for extended periods. The government has introduced various measures to address the housing shortage, including social housing projects and tax incentives for developers. But progress has been slow. The demand for housing continues to outstrip supply, exacerbating the crisis. Beyond housing, the cost of living in Ireland has surged across multiple sectors. Groceries, utilities, transportation, and healthcare expenses have all risen significantly. Inflation reached 5.6% in 2023, its highest level in decades, driven by global supply chain disruptions and energy price spikes. Energy costs, in particular, have become a major concern for Irish households. Many families reported spending over 10% of their income on heating and electricity, a threshold defined as energy poverty. Healthcare in Ireland, while accessible through the public system, presents its own set of challenges. The Health Service Executive, HSE, manages the country's healthcare system, but long wait times and resource constraints are persistent issues. In 2023, over 700,000 people were on waiting lists for hospital treatments, with some patients waiting years for elective procedures. Public hospitals are often overcrowded, and the COVID-19 pandemic further strained the system. As a result, many residents feel compelled to purchase private health insurance, which adds another layer of financial burden. Employment in Ireland reflects a tale of two economies. High-paying jobs in tech, pharmaceuticals, and finance attract skilled workers, but these opportunities are concentrated in urban areas and often require advanced qualifications. Meanwhile, workers in retail, hospitality, and other low-wage sectors struggle with stagnant wages and limited job security. The rise of remote work has provided some flexibility, but it has also driven up housing demand in previously affordable rural areas, pushing prices higher across the board. Income inequality is another growing concern. While Ireland's average income is high, wealth distribution remains uneven. A 2023 report by the Economic and Social Research Institute found that the top 10% of earners account for nearly 40% of total income, while the bottom 50% share less than 20%. This disparity has tangible effects on quality of life, with lower-income households facing greater difficulty affording essentials like housing, education, and healthcare. Education in Ireland is a double-edged sword. On one hand, the country boasts a strong primary and secondary education system, with high literacy and numeracy rates. On the other hand, higher education comes with significant costs. University students face annual tuition fees of up to $3,000, and the additional costs of accommodation, textbooks, and living expenses make third-level education a financial challenge for many families. Student debt is becoming more common, leaving graduates burdened as they enter the workforce. Ireland's tax system further complicates the financial picture for residents. While the corporate tax rate is famously low at 12.5%, individual income taxes are among the highest in Europe. High earners face a marginal tax rate of 52%, and even middle-income workers pay significant portions of their earnings in taxes. These rates fund vital public services, but many citizens feel that the quality and availability of these services don't justify the high tax burden. Climate change adds another layer of complexity to Ireland's economic challenges. The country is highly vulnerable to the effects of global warming, including increased rainfall, flooding, and rising sea levels. Extreme weather events have become more frequent, causing damage to infrastructure and homes. The government has pledged to achieve net zero emissions by 2050, but the transition to renewable energy sources will require substantial investment. In the meantime, energy costs remain high, further straining household budgets. Ireland's aging population is another demographic challenge with significant economic implications. By 2030, nearly 20% of the population is expected to be over the age of 65. This shift will increase demand for healthcare, pensions, and social services, placing additional pressure on public finances. Younger generations may face higher taxes and reduced benefits as the government seeks to balance these competing needs. The rural-urban divide in Ireland further exacerbates its economic disparities. While cities like Dublin, Cork, and Galway thrive, many rural areas struggle with declining populations, limited job opportunities, and inadequate infrastructure. A 2023 study by the Western Development Commission found that nearly 30% of rural communities have experienced population decline over the past decade. This urban-centric growth leaves rural residents feeling left behind, with fewer resources and opportunities. Despite these challenges, Ireland remains a country with immense potential. Its educated workforce, strategic location, and thriving tech sector are significant assets. However, realizing this potential will require addressing the systemic issues that make living in Ireland increasingly difficult for so many. The government must prioritize affordable housing, healthcare reform, and economic diversification to ensure a more equitable and sustainable future. In conclusion, Ireland's economic successes are undeniable, but they come with significant costs that affect the daily lives of its residents. For many, the high cost of living, housing crisis, and social inequalities have made it difficult to thrive in a country that once symbolized opportunity. Addressing these challenges will be crucial to preserving Ireland's reputation as a desirable place to live. Thank you for joining us in exploring the economic realities of life in Ireland. If you found this analysis insightful, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below.